Hello, this is Juliet Gladies Jayasuria. Welcome to Evaluate to Motivate segment. In this segment, we will be talking to champion evaluators to learn from them the art of evaluation. Today, we have with us Joseph Amande, who's the evaluation district champion in 2020 in Qatar. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to Evaluate to Motivate session.
Thank you very much. How are you doing, Dr. Julie?
I'm doing great, Joseph. So let's get into the questions for the interview.
Sure.
So the first one, tell us about your journey as an evaluator. When and how did you discover that evaluation is your strength?
I joined Toastmasters in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. And I joined this club, Toastmasters Club, wherein I delivered my icebreaker speech. You could imagine how excited I was after spending a lot of time for writing, creating, and preparing for that. On the day of my delivery, after delivering the icebreaker speech, I received my feedback. And unfortunately, the feedback that was given to me was not motivational.
Oh.
I was disheartened, so much so that I lost my confidence. I did not go back to that club after that evaluation. I stopped joining Toastmasters or attending Toastmasters meeting after that. And I think it was after 6 months that I met someone from Philcom International Toastmasters Club, and his name is DTM Gill. DTM Gill just politely, since he is a Filipino too, we had a conversation, and then he found out that I joined Toastmasters, and I also shared the reason why I stopped joining that club or attending their meetings. And he told me, why not give our club a try? And I delivered the same speech. The quality of evaluation that I received from him changed my perspective, changed my feelings towards my emotions towards Toastmasters. Really, his evaluation encouraged me to continue on with my Toastmasters journey. And we'll talk more about how he evaluated me, but that was my journey. I didn't have a really good experience at first being evaluated as a speaker until someone like DTM Gill gave that powerful, motivating evaluation that really changed me. And I am glad that because of that, I have grown as a speaker, as a Toastmaster, and won the district contest in evaluation last year. So
Wow.
that was my journey in a nutshell. And since then, I have been using the techniques, the tools, the tips that were shared and given to me by DTM Gill, and also by the other members of the club, Toastmasters, Philcom International.
That's a wonderful story, Joseph. It's always important that we have to look back the journey where we have come from to see how well we have been progressed, and and that itself will be a self-motivation to move forward.
Yeah.
So having won the district championship in evaluation, so let me ask you the second question. What are the strategies to be adopted to open an evaluation speech?
Strategies. Well, we have to bear in mind that an evaluation is a speech in itself. So our opening has to be engaging enough, needs to grab the attention of our listeners. And it's very important that in your opening, there are elements that should be present. So
Yeah.
what I do when it comes to my opening is that I relate my opening to the speech.
Okay.
It could be to the theme, to the message, and you can ask questions to engage, or you can use the quotation, the phrase, the message of the speaker in his or her speech as your opening line. And after delivering your opening line that was relate or that is related to the speech, then you start the formality, which is greeting the the contest chair, everyone present, in the contest, and of course, not to forget the speaker. Okay. For
Yeah.
me, I avoid saying and to our test speaker. Perhaps we can be creative in addressing the
By
speaker,
name.
yeah, by name, or we can say our star speaker,
Oh, wow.
yeah, or something like that to you know to give him the,
Motivate them
yeah, to motivate, to honor, to acknowledge
to
that
credit, to
what
give
is
the credit.
correct, correct. And
Yeah.
after that, after greeting, perhaps you can proceed with the purpose of the speech, because it's very important in your opening, in your introduction, that you are able to identify the speech that was given, whether it was informative,
Yeah.
it was persuasive, humorous, or inspirational.
Okay.
So you have to identify the purpose in your opening and on what subject. About, okay, you delivered an inspirational speech on family, on what have you. So whatever the subject of the speech was, please include that in the in delivering the purpose. So
Okay.
that's the third element. The fourth element is I'm giving this tip. These are not like in like standards, okay? These are not like the standardized opening for your evaluation, but it works for me every
Mhm.
time. So I hope and I'm sure that it would do um, service to your evaluation. So after the purpose, then I connected to how I felt or what I felt after listening to the speech. So after saying that what an absolute delight listening to an informative speech on family. The fourth element is it made me feel this
Okay.
and so on. Then overview. So the
Okay.
overview is now I'm going to evaluate you based in or based on this and that. So you can use different ways. For I have used shining moments for strengths, growth opportunities for. We don't use weaknesses. So areas of I mean growth
Improvement.
opportunities. Yes, areas of improvement.
Okay.
So, or you can say points to praise or points to ponder. So you can be also creative in having two categories, okay, to divide your evaluation. Don't just say, okay, I'll evaluate you based on your strengths and your areas for improvement.
Improvement.
So you
Okay.
can be creative. So those are the five elements that you have to include in your opening. So attention grabbing statement that is related to the speech, to
Okay.
the theme, then you greet, and then you identify the purpose and the subject, how it made you feel as the listener. So connecting it to your to yourself, and then the overview, how you will evaluate. That should be the opening.
Okay. So that was wonderful having the strategies
Yeah.
listed very clearly, Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And
Mm-hmm.
while we said about the strategies, it is important that we need to give a 360-degree evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
So while we are evaluating the speaker, so are there any techniques that one can adopt to give well-rounded evaluation?
Okay. First, I just would like to mention because you said evaluating the speaker.
Yeah,
We don't evaluate the speaker, we evaluate the
the
speech.
speech. Sorry.
Yes, that's right. So to give a 360-degree evaluation, wow, it's so uh, corporate-ish. I think 360. You have to know in order for you to deliver a speech or to deliver an evaluation, then you have to have basis for your evaluation. And for me, I use the criteria, the judging criteria in international speech. So,
Okay.
what are the judging criteria in an international speech? You are looking at the content, okay,
Okay.
which includes the speech development, the effectiveness, and the speech value. So I would say that your evaluation would have more weightage on the content, and
Okay.
then of course delivery. That includes the physical, the voice, and the manner, and of
Okay.
course language. Okay,
Okay.
now with the online meeting and contest that we're having, speakers deliver their test speeches online. Then
Okay.
another element has to be included, and that is the how the speaker presents himself or herself via Zoom or
Mhm.
online. So that would be an additional element to look at or to look into. So
Yeah.
by considering all those content delivery, language, and Zoom presence, you're giving a 360-degree evaluation.
That's right. Thank you so much. I was about to repeat those key points, but you didn't give me that job. You did repeat for every single question, and I think that's how the champion does always. So it is very nice to listen to you. While we know that we have to talk about all these things, like we talk about content, we need to talk about presentation, and then we need to talk about the delivery, and also about how they have to do in the Zoom. It takes a lot of time to do
Mhm.
it. But we know that the evaluation speech is also timed. So, how can we effectively manage time to organize the evaluation speech?
That's a very good question. And they say that you cannot prepare for an evaluation or also for table topics, but I beg to disagree. You can prepare for an evaluation. Of course, before going to a contest, what I do is I already prepare my format, okay? Like the
Mhm.
structure. And I just need to like um, fill in those blanks with the information based on the speech that was given. So that itself could take off a lot of pressure and stress that you're feeling as an evaluator because you have already prepared your format in advance.
Okay.
But let us remember that you're just preparing the format. You're not preparing the content because if you do that then you're not really giving value because the the elements that you will be mentioning then will be not related to the speech. So just bear in mind that you're only preparing the format, the structure of your evaluation, and then the other way that you can prepare for an evaluation contest is to, really list down the different elements. For example, for the content. So what are we talking about when it comes to content? We're talking about the title, the topic, the structure, the supporting material, the transition, the achievement of purpose, the organization. How about the characterization? If it's a story, audience awareness, power of or the full circle effect. All of these elements can be prepared in advance. You review those elements, then when you go to the delivery part, you're talking about the enthusiasm or confidence of the speaker. You're talking about the gestures. What can you say about gestures? You can already prepare like a still when you're talking about gestures. Okay, you can already prepare them in advance. So by preparing all these elements, the structure, the format, and your script, um, then you can focus on the speech that day. because you will not be, when you start writing, you just fill in those blanks with those information that are relevant and that you have really observed in the speech. Okay, these are behaviors, these are really specific elements. You cannot just make a general claim or feedback about the speech. So you have to be specific. That's very important to bear in mind.
Okay, that's very well said. Thank
Mhm.
you so much about it. And the next one is about the conclusion. Is it important to conclude? What methods do you prescribe for conclusion or summary?
Okay. Of course, conclusion is very important because conclusion comprises 15% of the judging criteria in evaluation. So if you have given your introduction, the body of your evaluation or the content, and if you fail to summarize, the judges will not give you points in the conclusion. So sometimes you will attend a contest and then you listen to all the, to all the evaluators, and then you were surprised to hear, oh, how did that person win? Because the other person delivered, let's say, um, like more impactful evaluation, but he or she did not give a summary. So she has lost or has lost, he has lost already 15% from the judging criteria. So when you conclude, you could use phrases like in summary, all in all. So that's how we would start our conclusion, so that the judges would know and identify, okay, so this is the start of the evaluation. So by using those phrases in summary, um, to conclude, all in all, and then what are the elements that should be present in your conclusion? Of course, what is a summary? It is like mentioning the uh, shining moments, maybe if you have given two, um, and then the growth opportunities. So just reviewing what you have said, okay, in
Just
your
list them.
correct. So just mention them again, but in a quicker way, like one, two, three, okay, for your shining moments and growth opportunities, one, two, and then when you do that, you can also make it motivational. Okay, if you can make small adjustments in these, okay, don't just say these are your shining moments and these are your growth opportunities. When you transition from the strengths to areas for improvement, that line will make a difference. If you could make small adjustments in one, two, I believe then you give your last statement. And the last statement, what I would do is I would refer it to my opening so that my evaluation would have that full circle effect. So if I said in the beginning, let's say, I give a quotation, okay? My concluding sentence will be related to that quote, okay? And it appeals to the emotion of the speaker so that he or she will be motivated to deliver a speech again. So remember the recency effect, okay? So the last sentence that you deliver will be remembered most, not just by the speaker, but by the judges. So it has to have an impact.
Very well said. And that's a critical information, Joseph, that 15% of the evaluation
Mhm.
score is for the conclusion. So I think everyone who is listening to this should be able to be very careful that they should not miss the summary or the conclusion part while they are giving their evaluation speech. So, how should a Toastmaster prepare for an evaluation contest? So, what are your suggestions for that?
Of course, you have to give a lot of evaluations before the competition. So, with the online meetings that are happening nowadays all over the world, you have access to be able to do that. So I go to Easy Speak and then I click on all meetings. You can
Okay.
see there are all the clubs that are having their meetings at that time, and you could just join. And there in the in the meeting, some would say, okay, we need an evaluator. Okay, then volunteer yourself to be an evaluator. Or even if you're not evaluating the speaker, you can evaluate on your own. So maybe you can practice um, writing down or taking note of the of the areas for improvement and strength, and then compare it with the actual evaluator of that speaker. Were you able to capture the same, or do you have more elements that are like really analytical? Because what happens in an evaluation is that you don't state the obvious. This is a competition. So you are evaluating the same speech. If all evaluators or if your other contestants are giving the same, okay, it's about your body language, this and that, and you're also saying the same thing, the judges will, you know, maybe not maybe, you will have more points if you give a really analytical, something that is not obvious, something that is unique, okay? Your fresh point of view or perspective um, about that speaker will give you more points. So be analytical. Remember, in an evaluation, it's 40% of the judging criteria. So by not stating the obvious, you're already winning, okay? Because you're showing that you're more analytical, you know more, and all that.
Okay, that's very good that all the Toastmasters please participate in many evaluations
Uh-huh.
contests. Go to EC Speak and then book your next options with other
Uh-huh.
clubs as well. There are a lot of opportunities on the way. So that's
Yeah.
a very good piece of information, Joseph. I think
Mm-hmm.
people who are listening to this will be really be motivated to get into a lot of practice by
Mm-hmm.
participating in evaluation
Mm-hmm.
speeches.
Yeah.
So, as a champion evaluator, so what is your advice to the new Toastmasters to prepare themselves for the evaluation contest?
My advice, for me, I really invested in honing my skills in evaluation or in giving feedback, not only for contest sake or to win a competition, but really to improve my relationship at work and at home, outside Toastmasters or in Toastmasters, because I believe that feedback or evaluation is so powerful. Just like what our you know world champion Muhammad Katani said, that words have power. It can change someone's life. Now, if words have power, imagine the power that lies in your feedback or in your evaluation. And all of us are evaluators. May it be advising our friend or giving feedback at work or giving an advice to your child. We give feedback on a daily basis. The question is, do we evaluate to motivate? Now, with all the tips that I have shared with you, evaluating the speech, not the speaker, using positive language is very important. By saying, I believe, I heard, I saw, I felt, that is the mantra of an evaluator. You don't say, you should, you have to do this. Okay, it's very important. Be honest and be sincere in your evaluation. Avoid being or covering flaws to please the speaker or whitewashing. Because what value will you add if you are, there to just make the speaker feel good? If he or she is not getting anything to improve on, then we have to bear that in mind. And come prepared. You can be prepared in your evaluation. Just like what I said, you can already prepare the structure and you can review the elements. You can review the judging criteria of a speech. You're looking at the content, the delivery, the language, the Zoom presence. And seek to learn more. Don't stop learning. We have a lot of resources available online. You can watch the champion evaluators on YouTube. Learn from them. Do not settle for what you already know. So that would be my advice to our Toastmasters and to those who aspire to join competition. Don't join the competition only to win, but really to have a higher purpose. What's in it really for you to be a great evaluator? And nothing can be greater than having an improved relationship at work and at home.
That was a wonderful piece of advice, Joseph Amande. I very well acknowledge and also believe that words have power, but our feedback can promote or motivate a new beginning to all the Toastmasters journey. So thank you so much for your valuable time and knowledge that you had shared with us today, and hope this will help all the budding evaluators in their Toastmasters journey. Thank you very much, Joseph.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And this is Juliet signing off.